Boogie, drop that beat.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Talking Out Loud with Miss Talkative. Everything I say is my own opinion, alleged, and strictly entertainment purposes. Remember, I'm just talking out loud. Please like, share, subscribe. Comment on the video, let me know what you think. Y'all, where did Kimmie and Tisha think that they were supposed to sleep at? I mean, what did they expect Melody to do regarding their sleeping accommodations? It's a vacation, and normally who's ever the host gets the best room. Tisha and Kimmie, they were acting as if they put money in on this trip to be expecting better accommodations. It's like they're so used to Melody doing everything big, making sure her guests are well taken care of, basically pacifying all her guests, to the point where they were really feeling entitled. They really thought that Melody was, I don't know what they were expecting from Melody, because nobody got a bad room. I think Tisha and Kimmie, they just, regardless of what room they were going to get, they were going to make an issue out of something, some way, somehow, because they never want to give Melody her full kudos, her credits, her flower, nothing. They feel as though, or they probably felt as if they complained that Melody would cater to them as she normally make sure that all her guests are satisfied. But Tisha, her bedroom at home is probably not as nice as the bedroom that she's vacationing in for free. But because it's Melody's trip, they were looking for the red carpet to be rolled out for them. And I'm not sure why Tisha and Kimmie felt entitled, like they were due private suites, their own, in their own rooms. When the last time they've been there for Melody? When the last time they didn't pulled up on Melody to make sure she was okay? Melody made sure Kimmie was okay when she was going through her chemo and her cancer. But when is the last time either one of them has checked on Melody to make sure she's good? Melody went through a whole court case of trying to fight for her kids. Did any one of them call her and say, let me just drive you to court because I know it's hard? Did any one of them send her some flowers and say, I know you going through a tough time. Let me brighten up your day. Let me send her a meal. She may not feel like cooking today. No, but then these heifers get on a trip and think that Melody should be accommodating them. Tisha and Kimmie both chose Martell over Melody. Watch Melody go through this whole ordeal, still dealing with stuff with this man. So my suggestion to them, next time they want to go on vacation or they feel as though that their accommodations should be better, why don't they wait on Martell to invite them somewhere so he can make sure they have the best accommodations to suit their needs? Because the fact that Tisha was accommodated with her own bed after including a +1 on Melody's dime, And please don't tell me that production paid, because I'm quite sure that Melody put in, she forked over a check as well. But the fact that they included a +1 on somebody else's dime and then feel as though that they're entitled. No, the fact that they got their own bed, that's a bonus. And they both should have been grateful. Because Melody told Tisha that she might have to share. So that's the attitude that Tisha should have came with. So she should have been grateful to just learn that she didn't have to share a bed with her +1. Then you got Kimmie trying to guilt trip Melody, talking about how long they've known each other. Well, that can go both ways. Because just as long as Melody have known Kimmie and Tisha have known Melody as well. But all of a sudden, Kimmie and Tisha are Team Destiny. See, it works both ways. Kimmie and Tisha are Team Martell. And whomever else that choose to hate Melody. So, Kimmie trying to guilt trip Melody, it's not going to work. I don't understand how Kimmie and Tisha thought that they would be allowed to trump Melody real friends that traveled with her on this trip. Then Tisha gonna say that Melody picked their rooms based on her feelings towards them. Maybe that's Tisha's guilty conscience, knowing that she deserved the room that she got. Because if she thought it was a bad room when nobody else thought it was a good room. When nobody else thought it was a bad room. And Tisha thinking that it's a bad room just because she's rooming with, she has a room of 3. So if she thought it was a bad room, maybe that's her guilty conscience that's taken over, because she knows that she hasn't been a good friend or a friend at all to Melody. I don't understand how they thought that they should have, that Melody should have done something extra for them based on who they are. I don't think Melody invited Kimmie and Tisha on a trip to treat them bad. Who does that? Now, I believe that some of these ladies on this cast, I believe that they would. I believe that they would do just that. Invite somebody on a trip to treat them bad, shade them, and make fun of them for the duration of the trip. I really do. And I believe that's why Tisha and Kimmie invited Destiny. And I keep saying Tisha and Kimmie because they both sat at the table and convinced her to come. But I don't think Melody would invite somebody on a trip just to treat them bad. If that's the case, Melody could have invited people that she actually get along with and said and called it her, her friend's trip, and not invited Kimmie or Tisha. And that would have spoke clearly to her feelings. There wouldn't have been no misunderstanding. Just like when Melody has had other events where she has not included Kimmie and Tisha, it let them know she wasn't messing with them. But she chose to bring everybody on the trip so they can move forward. Let the past be the past. Start off on a good foot. Tisha, with Tisha and Kimmie, they can't let go. They're harboring these ill feelings toward Melody. If you agree to let mess go and move forward, then you have to actually let the stuff go. Tisha will bring up everything. Every time she doesn't agree with something that Melody does. Oh, this is how she feel about me. Melody is lying. I remember in the past, Melody did this. She bring it all up. She regurgitates everything every time she is upset with Melody, which clearly shows that she has not let anything go. But let her do something. Let Tisha do something. She's going to then recite, oh, we're trying to move forward. We're moving to a better era where whenever Tisha is messy, then she want to remember all of a sudden, oh, we're moving forward. We're letting bygones be bygones. They're just hypocrites. But if I were Melody, I would have not accommodated Tisha plus one to have her own bed. I wouldn't have. I just wouldn't have. Because Melody told Tisha up front that she may have to share a bed. And just because Tisha told her that she needed her own does not mean that she was due her own. Melody could have given Kimmie and Tisha the room with the 2 beds in it and let them accommodate their own guests. Because how dare you invite somebody on a trip that you're not putting no money in? And because Tisha and Kimmie they wasn't even thankful to not have to share a bed. And they came in acting a donkey as if they felt like they deserved more. That's why I say, had I been Melody, they would have got the room with the double beds in it, the 2 beds, and they would have had to work it out. Whatever y'all want to do, but I'm not playing this game with y'all. I told you, Tisha, up front, you would have to share. So now, because you want to be ungrateful on my trip, trying to ruin my trip, thinking you're going to come for me, now you're going to go in this double room. You and Kimmie, y'all can sort it out. Whatever way y'all want to do it. Your guest sleep with you tomorrow and pair up with the other one the next day. But I did all I'm going to do. And you know that they were just looking for something to argue, to have an issue with, just because it was Melody's trip, because they didn't want Melody to, they didn't want to have to say, well done, Melody. Good job, Melody. You did this, Melody. They don't want to give her flowers. So what did they do? They just had to make an issue about a room. Really? You just got there and you already having issues. And you know they were trying to start stuff, because when Melody offered them her room, then they want to say, oh no, we'll just deal with the room where we were offered. Then why are you getting upset? No, they wanted to ruin her trip. I don't understand how you think you're entitled to something with no money. It's expensive to rent a house that big with all those bedrooms. And just imagine if Melody had requested for all of her guests to have private suites so they can have their own room, their own bathroom, so she could please all her guests. And we're talking per night, not just for a day or two. They said that they were there for a week. And you're talking about paying for all of this mess to accommodate all these people to their specific needs, specific standards per night? No. Kimmie and Tisha is off their rocker. And then Tisha want to say that Melody gave her the room based on just because she's seen the text. Let's assume that Melody did see the text. The fact that you knew that Melody and Destiny were not on good terms, the fact that you knew that they weren't on good terms, weren't getting along, and you had just got in the space of trying to move forward with Melody, your doggone self, why wouldn't you just let Destiny sit this trip out? So y'all, when you and Melody and all the ladies can bond and get past y'all issues before you add another layer of issues for Melody to have to deal with. They thought that they were going to have some fun thinking. They thought they were going to have some fun by bringing Destiny to go up against Melody. They were going to have their little get along game to sit around and attack Melody, gang up on her, throwing shade, throwing jabs and stuff like that. That's why Tisha and Kimmie were probably trying to set the mood before Destiny got there, so the tension could already be thick. So it wouldn't be like, oh, Destiny ruined the trip. No, so they could say, oh no, the tension was already thick before Destiny got there. That's why they were looking for any little reason to go off. But like I say, Tisha and Kimmie feeling entitled, but have done nothing to warrant that type of gesture. It's laughable. But the fact that Melody was nice and accommodating everybody, including Tisha's plus one, regardless as to who it was or who it is, they should have been more than pleased, more than thankful. But because it's Melody and they don't want to give her kudos, they don't want to thank her or anything like that. They always want people to think the worst of her because they have their own issues that they're harboring against her. That's why Melody don't invite. That's why she said she doesn't invite y'all anywhere. That's just my opinion. I'm just talking out loud. Please like, share, subscribe. Comment on the video. Let me know what you think.